Hi, I'm Lemmy, and today I'm gonna show you how I save these 10 orcs I bought on Vinted for €5. Generally I paid €5 for these guys, and yeah, they were not in the condition you see now. When I got them, their bases were all messed up. Most of them were in at least 2 different parts, and it was definitely a hobby project gone awry that somebody just wanted to get rid of, and I want to give them a second life. I'm gonna save these guys, paint them and base them, and put them on Vinted again so they might find a new home and have a nice full life once again as some nicely painted orcs. When I got these, the first thing I did was rip off their bases gently, fixing what needed to be fixed, like the banner needed to be put on top of the top right hand of the orc, stuff like that. Then I just filed away the seams, there were a lot of them, and put them on some new 3D printed 30 by 30 millimeter bases. I looked it up at the time, and once that was done, I realized this might actually make a nice video on saving somebody's old hobby project and making a little money while doing it. This is how I actually fund my hobby, by buying some old hobby projects and reviving them and selling them for a little bit more money. Once these are all painted, I hope to get about €15. And yeah, I'll be actually happy with just €10. I'll put them on for 20 because I know people are gonna bid lower, but if I get 10, I'll be happy because I just like painting and restoring minis and doing fun stuff with minis. And as you might have noticed, what you're seeing are 9 orcs, because I already made a test orc. Let's take a look at them. So this is how the finished orcs will hopefully all look. This is the one I have done as a test piece. He came out absolutely amazing, especially compared to where they came from. I sadly have no pictures or footage of how they originally looked. That's not a pro YouTuber move, but as you can see, the end result is quite fun, quite amazing. I still have to do the basing. I'll put some green flock on it to give it that real old school, old world vibes. Let's see if I can make the other 9 look equally as good. First of all, let's give them a black prime. Now they have a black prime. It's not perfect. As you might notice, some of them still have some of the green paint or white primer showing through. Not a big problem, we're gonna fix that while we paint. All I want is a surface for the paint to grip. That's what has happened already. So now I can finally start painting them. And I'm only gonna use about 8 paints, so this is actually quite easy to follow along with. It's not hard, not difficult, you don't need to be a master painter. Let's get on with it. First things first, I'm gonna start with the Terrestrial Titan from the Army Painter. And I'm gonna use a monkey brush just to paint all their skin in. Trust me, it's a trusted process step, but we're gonna paint our orcs skin first in purple, and I'm gonna explain why later. So now my orcs look appropriately purple. It is time for the next color. Also, just make sure if you're painting along for some reason at home, really get that paint into the necks, because that's gonna be 90% of the necks, just shadow, especially the deeper recesses. But now it's time to get some of that fine orc cloth painted with some nice Vallejo black, or yeah, I'm not gonna say the Spanish name. So now with a natural hairbrush, I'll be painting in all the black. That is the shirt, the trousers and the shoes, all gonna be black. Now we have some very gothic looking orc boys. I'm gonna start putting down some more actual colors with oak brown. You might notice the black, it's very dominant at the moment. I don't want the clothing and weaponry to get in the way of the skin and how expressive they are. So I'm gonna use a lot of more muted colors until I get to the skin. This guy only mainly has a pouch and a belt, so this step should not take too long. Now they have their leather belts, it's time to pick up the pace a little bit. I'll be painting leather brown, red copper and gunmetal in quick succession after each other, so you can get started on that nice green orc skin that's looking a little purple right now. So now they look a lot more shiny, and as you might notice, they are still looking very purple. But before I mess with the skin tones, I'm first gonna do some Karak stone on the teeth, and just the teeth, before I give everything a nice Agrax Earthshade wash. I wanna do this before I touch the skin in case the Agrax spills over onto the purple or the skin area. I don't want the skin to be fully painted and then mess it up with the Agrax Earthshade. So I'm gonna do this real quick, let it dry, come back, and then I'm gonna show you how I do the skin and highlight the black parts and show you how I paint the nails. Now everything is nice and grimed up. It is finally time for highlighting the skin, making it actually look green. It's not really highlighting, it's gonna be layering mostly. What I'm gonna do is take green skin and then Eternal Hunt. With green skin I'm gonna try and cover as much of the muscles as possible, without actually going into the deepest recesses, and keep the purple there. Especially in the face it will be very important, especially because it will make the green pop out and it will look amazing, but you have to trust the process. Once I've done that, I'll take Eternal Green and kind of highlight it and just go over the most raised areas of the muscles and the face, just to give it a little bit more definition. Once that's done, I'll come back and you'll see, if you're following along, you'll see on your own models, it will look amazing. Surprisingly amazing actually. Damn, don't they look amazing? I personally think you can stop with after the first layer of orc skin, but that second layer really makes them, really takes them over the edge, like that extra little oomph, and they're really, I like it. I'm very excited about it. Now I just have to paint the nails in angel green and highlight the black here and there, like a couple of selective highlights with German green from Vallejo. You might also notice that I've painted some dead people's hat that two of them had. I just used a grey, then a very light skin tone with a little touch of greyish blue in, and yeah, base coated it grey, then the grey, the blue-grey skin tone over top of that. That's about it. Blood for the blood god on the little stumps where their neck used to be. I've also highlighted up, well, layered up the skull again with Karak stone. Now I also have to do the banner. And I was thinking maybe something freehand, but I suck at freehand. I'm not even gonna attempt it, so I took this. Hope it comes across on camera. I took this decal from one of my many Bretonian decal sheets I have. Just gonna put a giant axe on there, put some chips in it with black, and then splatter some blood on the banner and call it a day. If the person who will buy these is watching, it's the best I can do. I apologize. It's gonna be very simple, but I think it will look good enough for orcs. Now, after a dry brush of metallic on the edges, some highlights and some more highlights, and some suffering with the decal I did not record, these are the finished models. I also did the base like I always do it. If you want to know the recipe, just leave a comment, I'll gladly share it. And I am actually extremely excited about how they turned out. They look quite amazing. And to top it off, I've already put them on Vinted and already they are sold for €16. I spent €5 on the minis themselves, so I'm very excited to get €16 out of it. So that means I have €11 more to spend on more Warhammer. More minis, more fun, more paint. I'm just excited with how this turned out. I hope you liked watching me on this little journey, and I hope to see you in the next one where I may or may not do something similar but with a twist. Hope to see you then. See ya.